Hello all, Mike from DynamicPoint. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be going through a demonstration of our Office 365 based portal application. Before we get into the demonstration, we have a couple slides to cover just to talk about who we are and how the product works. DynamicPoint creates apps specifically on the Office 365 framework. So in that way, we're very similar to an application that resides on your mobile phone in that we cannot exist without that framework. And of course, we leverage the functions and features of that framework wherever we can. So again, we're leveraging this ecosystem that's provided by Microsoft, and our products integrate with other applications as part of that ecosystem such that they are more rich in functionality and delivered to you at a fraction of the cost if we were to develop them all from scratch. To go through the various elements, our products again are adding various functionality to this in the portal application. It's very specific to integrating the information that resides within an ERP, CRM, or proprietary database. The product is deployed to SharePoint. It's providing the security, the branding, and the framework, as well as all the other features that SharePoint provides. For workflow, we're using Power Automate. For mobile applications, we're using Power Apps. For gathering additional details as part of a workflow, we're using Forms. And for reporting and analytics, we're using Power BI. If you're not familiar, all of these are applications that are generally included with your Office 365 subscription. As far as the function set of the portal application, it is deployed, again, to a SharePoint Office 365 or on-premise site. And the application is allowing integration with any of the ERP, CRM data, or information that resides within a proprietary database. Now, that type of information that is integrated with the portal depends on whether or not the portal is being used to enable a customer, employee, or vendor portal. In addition, we're leveraging these features, such as Power Automate, Power Apps, and Power BI, in Forms and SharePoint, to complement the product and make the portal an entire platform for collaboration. So again, we're adding functionality to connect with really any data that exists in anywhere from a spreadsheet to an ERP or CRM application. We're securing that information from a view, edit, or create perspective, as well as configuration to support those various features. The security and the branding is being provided, as well as the ability to render any reports from that source system, whether it be an ERP or CRM. So really, again, the portal is a gateway into that data as it resides within the systems, and we're providing a window into that information for your intended users, whether they be customers, employees, or vendors. One more slide here. So just some examples from a customer portal. Maybe I want to enable my customers to manage their company information, share contracts, do order entry, share inventory and product details, payment processing, as well as help desk functions. From a vendor, anywhere from managing company information, terms and conditions, confirm POs and edit orders, manage requests for proposals, as well as confirm shipments. And then employees, handbooks, forms, time entry, project management, insight to company operations, and reporting and analytics. How do we cover all of these things? Well, I hope to show you here in this demonstration. And that again, the portal is a framework to connecting those functions and features as they exist in their source system, and again, providing a window into that data using Office 365. So let's get out of the PowerPoint and go right to the demonstration. So my first example is a customer portal. I will be going through several different ones. Here you can see I have a customer portal. Again, this is deployed to Office 365 SharePoint or on-premise. I have various calls to action for my customers, for them to see their sales orders, maybe create or edit new orders, look at their invoices, create service orders, file a return, manage their company information, update their profile, or contact DynamicPoint. If I continue to scroll down, I have a scorecard that is Power BI based report that I have shared with them, and I am filtering this information for the authenticated user, as well as a document library and newsfeed. So these are just some examples. Obviously, this is using a very configurable framework of Office 365, so I get to make this site look and feel really however I want to. The other thing that you'll notice just popped up, I do have integrated chat with this site too. So this is a sample look and feel. If you do not like this look and feel, or you're saying, hey, this isn't appealing to my company, note that there are several options. Microsoft publishes what they call a lookbook that gives you all kinds of examples of how you want your portal page to look. So there's numerous examples that you can take a look at if you go to the lookbook.microsoft.com and look at various ideas for organizing your portal as well as the branding capabilities. So let's go back to our customer portal. Again, what our product is offering is the integration or the collaboration of data that exists in your source systems. So if we click on sales orders, what is occurring is we are querying the information from the source system and rendering it in a real-time fashion in the portal. So now from a customer perspective, I could go in here and see all my sales orders, drill into any of the details on the sales orders, look at line items, etc. Again, all of the information that you're seeing, anywhere from whether or not information is read-only or edit or creation, is configurable, as well as the fields. We're again just hooking up to that source data and providing the security such that it could be rendered in a secure fashion in a SharePoint-based extranet. As you can see, this information that I'm showing is pretty simple. It's just read-only. I have a view option here as well as print. If I click the print button, it's actually going to call the source report from my ERP and render my sales order report directly to my customer. So now they don't have to call in, I don't have to email it. They could go ahead and generate it themselves directly from the portal. So let's start looking at other examples. Again, that was a pretty basic one. Again, targeting customers from a customer portal. If I go click on this one, the create and edit sales orders, you're going to see my interface is very similar, and then I'm looking all the orders applicable to me, but now I have an edit capability. If I click on this edit capability, it's going to open up that same screen. But as you can see, now I could edit fields. So maybe I want to allow my customers to update the ship to and say that an order is going to a different location, or create orders as well as edit line items. By changing this and submitting this, this could actually flow directly to the ERP or generate notifications or review tasks prior to updating the source system. So in this case, as you just saw, I updated my ship to. If I go look at my email, you'll see I have a new one highlighting the change that was just made in the portal. So in this case, I'm not using an approval. I'm just notifying the user that something's changed, such that maybe my operations department could take any action that's required now that it's going to a different location. So let's go back. Other options, service orders, returns, we're going to skip those for now. We're going to go to our company information as well as our profile. So maybe I want to give customers access to their information such that they can maintain their address as well as the contacts with there. Let's go ahead and fix this city. Say we're going to change the city and state, and again, update that directly in the portal. In this case, I have that flowing directly to the source ERP system, so there will be no notifications generated because I don't require it from a configuration perspective. Same thing with my profile. If I want my company to manage contacts within the system, they can most certainly do that. Go in here and create new contacts. As you can see here, I have create functionality enabled. I'll go ahead and put my name and email and create a new contact record right in the source ERP. Again, this case, it didn't require any approval notification or workflow. That flowed directly into the ERP application. So that's enough of the customer portal. Let's shift gears here and go to our vendor portal. Again, similar from a look and feel perspective, but now I'm integrating different data as opposed to things like sales orders. I'm integrating purchase orders with the portal. If I click on purchase orders, it's going to again call the ERP or source system, rendering those in a real-time fashion. By opening this purchase order, you can see I could change my expected delivery date. I've enabled edit on those fields, as well as the ability for my vendors to acknowledge APO. Another capability here, similar to before, we have the print capability, but as opposed to it calling a sales order report from the ERP, it is going to render a purchase order report in real time using PDF technology. The reason it's PDF is all of our portals are compliant across various platforms as well as mobile, web browsers, tablets, etc. So PDF is a very portable format that can be viewed across platform. Another capability here is I do have the ability to submit these purchase orders as well as include any documentation. So we have a file exchange capability where our portals where they could go ahead and submit various things such as return requests for proposal documentation, specifications, or invoices directly in the portal application. So other things from a vendor perspective that we could highlight, we have contract status, invoices, the ability to view historical invoices. Again, all of these integrations are configurable. So here you can see my open and historical invoices coming directly from the ERP, as well as contract status. Maybe I'm maintaining contracts with vendors and I want to give them the ability to look at the expiration dates as well as trigger renewals directly from the portal application. So that was our highlight for vendor capability. Again, everything I'm just showing you today is just to get you thinking. All of this is configurable based on this concept in our product that we call services. And just to pause for a second and look at the configuration, we are ultimately connecting to endpoints or APIs, application program interfaces, that are provided to us by the source system. And then any of the data that you see is configurable. So I get to define what information is available for view or edit or create functionality, as well as all the buttons and labels that you see within the product. So in that way, really any capability that is ultimately part of a source ERP, CRM, or proprietary database can be exposed. So we've talked about the ability to view and edit information. If I go into my creation screen, again, jumping back to my customer portal, you can see here I have the ability to create orders directly from the portal. As you can see, the first screen is fairly basic. This is following a methodology that is being put forth by the source ERP application. And first of all, it wants some header information and then gives me the ability to create it. By creating it, we are calling, again, the business logic of the source system and defaulting all of the customers' bill to and ship to information. From here, they could add line items. Those line items are going to query their price lists that are already configured for them and give them options that are applicable for this customer. So by adding items to this order and creating it, it will return with a price that is specific to this configured customer in the ERP application. So let's keep going forward from a service perspective. So here's a service example. You can see here I can manage service calls within the portal, such that a customer could create a new service call, as well as edit this. One thing I'd like to highlight for the service portal, in addition to doing this on the actual portal interface itself, I have a mobile app that I could share that's using the Power App technology to go ahead and create a new service case directly from a mobile app. So we'll say the sink is clogged, needs some cleaning, assign a priority to that, maybe an area, plumbing, as well as description. And I could create that case directly from my mobile app, which will render it in real-time fashion in the portal. So different options as far as pulling in different technologies. Again, that could be done directly from the desktop or from the mobile product. Other abilities, again, just giving you more ideas. If I go to my job cost portal here, I'm sharing such things as job status, inventory, contract summary, invoices, as well as subcontractors. Here I'd like to highlight another feature of our portal product, that I could search any of the source information as it exists in proprietary databases as well as ERP and CRM systems. So as you can see, it returned me a list of subcontractors. Maybe I'm only interested in those that have AA in their name, and I could go ahead and search that directly, as well as the ability to add any documentation. If you need more examples of what's capable, I have a supplier portal, in this case, again, showing inventory, production orders, bill of materials, etc. If I were to click on any of these, it'll give me, again, the data real-time fashion from the source system. So from a very basic standpoint, the portal could be used for collaboration. Things that customers, vendors, employees are typically emailing to various individuals or calling into a help desk system can now be enabled in a real-time access online using the power of an Office 365 based portal. But as that becomes evident and customers start getting the benefit of that, we'll see them actually move to not just collaboration, but doing entire business automation using, again, this framework that's provided by the portal. So in my vendor portal example here, I have an onboarding process of which I could submit a new onboarding request for a new vendor using a form. So I'm going to go ahead and pick myself here, put in DynamicPoint as well as my email. And what I'm going to pretend to be here is a new vendor that would like to do business with our company. So I just submitted a request. Obviously, that would be done by an administrator. If I go ahead and bring up my email here, you can see I received a new request. And as you can see, this is actually being generated by DocuSign. Why? I'll show you in a minute, but we have actually integrated this request with the DocuSign framework such that I could have an entire government form and capture electronic signatures. So here you can see I have a brief introduction of why this form is being sent to me. I could review this document. By reviewing this document, it's going to open it up in the DocuSign framework. Again, I have the ability to put some information in here, such as my address. I have some sample fields here configured as far as the type of business entity I am, as well as an entire W-9 that can be collected, as well as capture my electronic signature for that. And I could change this, of course, too. And we'll draw a new one and accept this document. So as you can see, now my vendor could complete all of their onboarding forms directly from this page. Again, this is just a sample. We've most certainly seen other examples in using the portal product from a customer perspective, such as contract renewal, capturing any technical specifications or any documentation that's required to go back and forth between these trading partners, either customers, vendors, or employees. I'm going to go ahead and finish it. What that's going to do is kick off a workflow process and an internal review. On that internal review, I'm going to get an email submitted to a manager requesting their approval or ultimate authentication and okay for this request to a new vendor. So if you see here, I have a link to my completed form. By clicking that link, it's going to go up and open that form for me so I could review it from a managerial audit perspective, say yes, this vendor looks great, and I could approve or reject it. This is again leveraging the power of Power Automate, so any of these approval tasks, if I'd prefer to do them either from my mobile app or directly from a Teams application, I have all those options as well. So if I were to bring over to my Teams application, for those using Microsoft Teams, sometimes the preference is to manage these approvals directly from here. And you can see I have my new vendor requests, which again could be reviewed and approved or rejected. So I'll do it from Teams, say this looks good, confirm it. And the last step in my business automation is my now confirmed vendor will be getting a new email welcoming them to the organization as a vendor and providing them a link to the portal. This is obviously a very basic notification. We could brand this in various fashions and make it look more sophisticated, but it did provide a link directly back to the portal. So that same concept of business automation can be leveraged not only for doing examples like vendor automation, but for customers and employees as well. That was all I had today from a demonstration perspective. Thank you so much for taking the time. I hope this was clear. If you'd like more information, please contact our website at dynamicpoint.com and sign up for either a demo or fill out a contact form, and we're happy to get back to you with any questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.